little bit, and then in pair, and then in small group. You use different ways to gather the answers back. So there are a lot more you can learn if you want to technically be helpful to the group. Not only give them more time. Yeah. So that's a good question. Yes.
Just wondering, has there been a time where you've been facilitating and then they've come to a consensus, but in your mind you feel like it might not be the best situation for the company? Like, do you step back and just accept that as their consensus, or do you kind of like ask them questions and sort of give your own opinion? Like, is that part of facilitating?
It's a very good question. As facilitator, we need to be the third party neutral, only care for the process. We care for the content, not enough to attach ourselves to the content. We need to be engaged but detached as well. So when it comes to the point when their proposal or their consensus need to be validated, usually the person who plays this role is the sponsor of your event. Usually it's the CEO of the event, or the department head who sponsor the event. For example, if you are the department head who hire me to facilitate your department, and then this department comes with 3 or 5 proposals, and we help them to validate each one. The final question I will ask after they present their proposal and the group says, yeah, we support or something, I will turn around and ask the sponsor, what do you think about this particular proposal? Is it ready to go? Do we need more study or more survey or more research on this one? So the sponsor will react to, he is the person who has the decision power of the business agenda, so that he can go, yes, we go with that. Or she can say, okay, we need to invite more customers to do more survey before we decide. So I will be the process manager at this particular time. Yeah, very good question. Yes.
Well, in Asian culture, we have really strong hierarchies.
Hierarchy, yes.
Right? And then in the process of divergence, probably there are teams with
Yes.
different standards. Right?
Yes.
And then probably not like other Western countries in Asia, there are some like clerks there and also some managers there, even though they are not in the same department. Then probably the clerk doesn't have any opportunity to stress out his opinion. And usually say just nodding a head, okay, and just going away. Then it's going to actually break the creativity.
Yes.
Then how can you deal with this kind of situation in Asia?
Yes, very, very good question. And this reminds me of 2 months ago, I was in Japan facilitating an American company and their branch office in Japan. And it's very interestingly, in the group we have Japanese, Taiwanese, and a few other Asian people. And I strongly feel not only that even it's one Asia, but still different cultures. And then in this company they have American culture, so it's very interesting. How do you look at the culture influence in a group? Hierarchy definitely is a very important factor to consider. Usually we do that in the preparation phase when we start the interview, not only to the participant but also to the sponsor. And if sponsorship has the awareness about this whole hierarchy influence, then we discuss ahead of time. How do we we discuss it transparently. Usually they also have the awareness. And then I share in different phases, what do we need to create, how do we do to create a space so the group can feel comfortable and at ease. Sometimes it means in certain session, the sponsor needs to go out and take a walk, take a walk outside, or they come back for other sessions. And sometimes it means that we make different settings. There is a bigger large group settings when the whole company is there and the boss doesn't really sit into the small group discussion. He would take the coffee pot and then add coffee to people. Okay, we make different settings so that the titles and the roles will not be so threatening at specific phases. Yeah. And it's a very good question that the facilitator need to be highly aware what's influencing the group process. Okay, I'm aware of time, and I still have like so many slides, but just quickly, I think this is the biggest point. I have some photos of my facilitation work in action, and will show you, what in action, what we are doing. And this is me, not facing you. This is my group. Okay. So sometimes in the preparation, we engage the internal people to have a core team. And this is Larry, one of our partners. And internal people engage with external facilitator in the consultation phase, deciding what to do in different phases. Okay. And this is when I have a design of a workshop, I show it graphically in front of the people so that they know in the beginning we do this and then we do this and this is our day together. So, visual engagement is also very important because people are coming from different learning styles. Okay, sometimes we create context for the group before we go into the real task discussion, weaving interpersonal fabrics. We do team building exercises. We sometimes do check-in dialogue. This is we do Water Wonder historic scan. I was talking to Miriam earlier that sometimes the best way to create a future is to get the best from the past. Yeah, so this is an exercise I would do with the group to review their history. And sometimes we do the current reality analysis, help the group to discuss where are they standing together as an organization, in small groups and big groups. In vision or mission workshops, we help people to think and articulate their vision in small cars, clustering different cars, and articulate the key components in graphics as well. And sometimes they utilize those ideas and come into the vision statement. How do they state it together? Yeah. Okay. And this is a vision statement workshop with more people. Okay. And sometimes after their condensement, they have very few sentences that they condense into their mission. Then after that, they could discuss the challenges in different format. Come into group, in small group in their propositions, strategic action, formulate provocative proposition about the future, and they need to explain the strategic proposals to their colleagues, their leadership teammates, so that they get buy-in and they get support to move on. Then individually in the leadership team, they also discuss what they need to do individually as the director in the room. And you can see after every workshop, the wall is paved with ideas everywhere. So the whole wall is now full of posters. Okay. Sometimes we engage larger group. The biggest group that I ever facilitated is 320. How do you get so many people in a room so still have productive discussion, not only going to the temple and it's really having productive, efficient discussion. Those are the large group techniques. Okay. So this is open space, also different discussion methodologies. We also engage graphic facilitator. They do graphic recording when the group is having a discussion. They do graphic recording, and this usually, especially for the marketing profession, is very helpful because after their dialogue, the images the graphic recorder capture for them can be the later on if they want to go into campaigns, advertising campaign or different PR campaigns, those could be icons that the graphic facilitator capture can be very good material for later. Finally, it's all about consensus. It's all about how the group come together, commit, and then own their result, and they're willing to do it. Okay, so that's a little bit about what I do. I still have a few slides. Guys want to go to it? It's about if you want to pursue the certification as a facilitator. A few resources. International Association of Facilitator. You can go to this website. You get a lot of data about it. It's a cross-nation, cross-methodology organization. Every year it has regional conferences. This year, the regional conference in Asia, it was in China, in Shenzhen. Last year, it was in India. I was there in India, Bangalore. So rotate different nations in different regions. And Japan next year in Japan. Next year it will be in Japan. Okay, so the mission of the IAF is to promote, support, advance the art and practice of professional facilitation. So if you are interested in learning more about it, you can go online to look for it. There are 6 core competencies, and this is the graphic that I drew to help me remember the 6. Okay, the first one is, in the heart, you're connected with the client. You're always in collaboration with the client. You are not imposing your proposal to the client. So work with the client hand in hand. The second one is this facilitator is like a conductor of music. So the stick that he's holding up is the process. How do you conduct the process? And then on the other hand, how do you get the outcome? Okay. And then in the stance, how do you have the attitude and the positive stance? Remain neutral. Okay. And then you wave and you create participatory environment. In your head, you also need to have a lot of knowledge. The benefit of being in business school, you have a lot of knowledge about management, and you have a lot of knowledge about change, about leadership. So those will be the benefit for you if you go into the world, the corporate world, to be a facilitator. Then that's the knowledge that you need. Of course, as facilitator, you don't need to only work with corporate money-making group. This is good to know as well, because you could work with the corporate, or you can work with communities, or UN, and for those projects, they usually pay not so much. But for the corporate, depends on your seniority and the kind of client that you can get. It can be a very financially rewardable job for you as well, and it depends on your capacity to really get the clients buy-in, and they see the result. They will come back returning for a lot of other services. Okay? So those are the 6 core competencies. You can also download that on the website. All right, so that's about it. Nisha asked me an additional question before I close this. In the GMBA program, we get a lot of opportunity to work in small groups. Do you have any advice for us? Okay, so that's the additional question Nisha asked me yesterday or the day before. And I said, okay. I discussed with Sean, and we both have a very interesting experience. After learning facilitation, the first reaction was, if I were back in Taidai, back in NTU, if I knew these methods, we don't need to spend so much time, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. discussing this one case study. Okay, so there are a few things that we can share with you. First is pay attention to your group process, not only the content. So from time to time, when you discuss in small group, think about how are we doing? What is happening now? Are we in the ground zone? Are we divergent our thinking, or are we converging our thinking too quickly? Okay, so ask questions about where we are in the group process. The second one is finally you want to get the fruits, but not so quickly. Always focusing only on the content and the task. The task questions: what topic are we discussing? What conclusion do we have? Don't rush so fast. Only on the conclusion. Pay attention to your process. Okay. The second one is the mentality. If you are in the knower mentality, I know it all. I have the best idea in my group. Okay, I don't want to listen to you guys. Okay, in that kind of mentality, in the small group discussion, you will only have advocacy. When they research an effective, outstanding team, they research the proportion of how much do they ask questions and how much do they advocate ideas. The ratio comes to 2 or 3 to 1. So 2 or 3 to 1 ratio, question to advocacy. Okay, so the mentality of the learner is very important. This man is Aristotle's. He's also a very famous management guru. He once said that the capacity to learn faster than one's competitor is the only source of long-term competitive edge. So how do you learn faster? Is depending on how much question you're asking one another to enhance the group to think deeper. You're not asking question like in the legislative yen, like the parliament, inquisition, not like that. It's about asking question to help people inquire deeper. So in the learner mentality, the capacity to collaborate depends on your capacity to inquire. Now, what are questions we need to ask one another now to help us explore together? Okay, so if you run out of question, ask this one. Okay, what are the questions we need to ask right now? Okay, I guess this is my final. Okay, if you have time, finally, if you want to explore your own career path, first you need to know yourself. If you know yourself, your strength as a person, as an individual, there are a lot of tools. I guess in the school they also have a lot of career support. You can go make some online tests to know what your personal strength is. Then the